Hey, it's Dave. Welcome to my channel, my yard sale. Hey, today I wanted to talk a little bit about what it feels like when I think the nerves start to recover after diabetes, metabolic issues. This is kind of in addition to a video I may have posted a couple days ago, or I posted, but I think it was just a couple days ago, about what it feels like. First off, I want to say I'm not a doctor, I'm not a healthcare specialist, I'm just a guy that's made some bad decisions, and I'm hopefully reversing all these issues, metabolic issues that I'm having, and I'm kind of sharing the process so that hopefully other people can avoid some of the pitfalls and problems that I've experienced. So I feel like I felt like my muscles were growing back before. And I could actually feel it because I can feel the muscle in my bicep actually growing. But what I'm thinking now is it's actually the nerves regrowing. And the way to explain how it feels is now, I was in the Navy. I spent some time in winter areas, and I've worn the foul weather gear, the winter gear, in different situations. And the one thing that I can kind of describe what this feels like, which I'm hoping is the nerves regrowing back in my hands and feet and so forth, is when I clench my fist, I was feeling the bones kind of crackling, which again I'm hoping was the nerves giving the bones and the muscle nutrients and the nerve endings to be able to actually do it. But what it feels like is if I put one of those big old Arctic pair of gloves on my hands, where it's so thick and it's so warm, it's hard to actually clench your fist, to clench your hand, and it doesn't hurt. It's not painful, but it's just very uncomfortable. But that's what it's feeling like now in my hands. And I still have some of the tingling in my hands, so I'm sure I'm still having that kind of neuropathy. But now it's different. It's more like it's not just that tingling on the fingertips and the skin, the outer skin areas. It's more like inside. And again, it's not painful. I'm happy about that, but it is very uncomfortable and really weird feeling, like trying to pick up a Q-tip, or if I drop a a pill or a supplement on the ground, it's almost impossible for me to pick it up. If I drop a frozen blueberry, it's hard for me to pick it up to throw it in the trash because my fingers don't work right. And they're starting to feel like they're getting not just the sensation in the skin back, but actual sensation in the entire hand, which I'm hoping I'm right that this is the nerves growing back, because this has been the most difficult process ever. I've never been through something so lengthy and just so difficult to get through. And I guess if anybody else is going through this process of trying to reverse metabolic issues that are diabetic issues, long-term diabetic issues with nerves and neuropathy and retinopathy, hoping to try to help those people avoid some of these just questions that I've had all along. I haven't been able to really find any resources that are completely definitive. Obviously, because you need to do blood tests and you need to go see a doctor and pay $300 a visit and get subscribed to all this stuff that you may or may not need. They may not even know about what you're going through. I haven't been able to find the right resource to figure out what I'm going through. So I'm trying to share what I'm going through so that maybe some other people can avoid the hard times and maybe skip over them completely. That'd be great. So again, I feel like my insulin resistance is now, I'm insulin sensitive again. It's still, if I eat too much sugar or I eat too many carbs, I can still feel it. I do get inflammation, and I can feel the neuropathy come back. But for the most part, it's much easier to deal with. And now I'm feeling like the nerves are regrowing in my body and my legs and my arms and definitely in my hands, mostly in my hands. Of course, I use my hands all day long. On a computer, I can, push the keys, but the actual the actual dexterity of pushing keys can be difficult. It's really weird because it's mostly in my left hand that I have most of the problems, and that's the hand that I'm feeling most of the structural feeling differences. I don't know exactly what it is. Again, I thought it was the muscles, but now I don't think it's the muscle. I think it's actually the nerves that are feeding the muscle. I mean, I'm not gaining that any weight. I'm gaining a little bit of muscle, but I'm not gaining any kind of fat weight. So I'm definitely utilizing all the nutrients that I'm eating. Any glucose that my body is building or taking away from the food that I'm eating, it's definitely getting funneled right to my my muscles and my bones, I guess, and hopefully now my nerves. Hopefully this is a post talking about how the nerve function is coming back in my body, and I'm reversing this because I think that if I can, the last thing for me to really notice that there was a problem was my hands and my fingers. Like I had mentioned before in another post, I started feeling some kind of neuropathy in my stomach, and then my eyes started getting weird, retinopathy. That my eyes started getting questionable. Like I can still see, but if I have inflammation, it makes my eyesight worse. It makes it feel like my prescription is off. And then if I drink a lot of water and I get the inflammation not fixed, but if I get rid of the inflammation or lower the inflammation, my eyesight gets better and it becomes a lot easier to see. Anyway, so it was my stomach, skin across the front of my stomach, and then my eyes, and then the big indicator for me was my fingers, the retinopathy in my hands. So I'm hoping that this is the ending of the nerve issues that I've been having, and hopefully things will resolve and start getting better. So I'm sharing this just in case anybody has any interest in what I just posted or what I just talked about. If you're experiencing any of this, you're in the beginning phases of going through this, or even if you're in the phase that I'm at, where hopefully you're at the end of the phase, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions and help anybody try to figure this out and at least get through it. This is the most difficult thing that I've been through in ever. And I've been through some difficult things, very difficult things. And this is not impossible. It is possible. And everything that I'm reading and seeing says that this is reversible. I guess the most important thing is to catch this 10 years ago, which of course I didn't do because I don't do that. I live everything the hard way and the difficult way. But I'm catching it now. I'm reversing it now, and I'm feeling like things are getting better. I'm hopefully going to get some of the coordination back with just my entire body and get back to being able to go for a walk again. I can walk from one end of my house to the other, but like I have to hold on to the wall, or I have to hold on to the doorknob and then go to the next doorknob and the next doorknob. I have to be really careful that I don't get too far ahead of myself or I'll fall down and end up breaking a hip or something. I need to avoid that. I need to not end up laying in the middle of my driveway. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to post soon. Hey, guess what? I just went out and got my mail and I didn't have any problems. And it wasn't a questionable, cycle that I was scared of. Like I don't want to go out to my mailbox right now because I don't want to fall down in my driveway and not be able to get back into my house. That's pretty scary. I'm not an old man. I'm not a young man, but I'm not an old man, and I can't believe I'm having to deal with even questioning myself of whether I'd be able to go get the mail or not. So I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to post that, hey, guess what? Got my coordination back, got my dexterity back. I'm able to walk without having to hold on to doorknobs. Like, that's all going to be good news for me to post. I'm going to be happy about that. And I do think that getting my insulin sensitivity back, getting muscle back built into my system, that is definitely the first thing that I had to do. I know I switched my A1C to probably not diabetic. And I know that started having positive impact. But I didn't realize the nerves So I thought that I was reversing the insulin resistance, which would give me back strength and muscle. I didn't really realize the damage to the nerves. Of course, retinopathy and neuropathy is damage to the nerves, but I didn't realize that and how important that is in the whole system of diabetes and prediabetes and reversing it all. So hopefully I'm at the end of this whole reversing thing and starting to get back to my life again. Hey, if this has been interesting at all to you, I'm sorry. Hopefully it was interesting in the fact that it was just the soothingness of my voice and the story that I was telling, but hopefully it wasn't interesting because you're actually going through this, because this is a nightmare. I hope this is interesting, and I hope you do take this away, take something away from this, and maybe help yourself out, maybe help somebody else out. Do me a favor, give me a thumbs up, give me a like. If you're not subscribed, do me a favor and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and it gives me more purpose to continue to post these posts. I hope this is helpful. I hope this is interesting, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.